Ever feel like SEO is a puzzle you just can't crack? Like you're missing a piece?
I know what you mean.
Well, today's deep dive is all about finding that missing piece.
Ooh, I like that.
We're taking a cue from Search Engine Journal. They're like, the gurus of digital marketing, and they say great content is key to getting seen online.
It really is.
Which makes sense, right? Because who wants to get lost in the internet void?
No one.
Not us. We want to be seen.
Yeah, and it's interesting because you know how we used to think SEO was all about keywords?
Right, like just stuffing them in?
Yeah, like tricking the system. It's not like that anymore.
Oh, really?
Search engines, especially Google, they've gotten really clever. It's less about matching keywords exactly and more about, like, understanding what someone's really looking for.
So it's like Google's become a mind reader.
Kind of. They call it user intent. It's about connecting users with the absolute best information for their needs, not just any old website that mentions the word.
Okay, so user intent. Explain that like I'm 5. How does Google actually know what people want beyond just the words they type in?
Well, it looks at a bunch of things. Like, let's say you're searching for best pizza.
Okay, I'm already hungry.
Google's going to consider things like, where are you right now? What time is it? Have you searched for pizza places before?
So if it's like 2 a.m. and I'm searching best pizza, Google knows I'm probably not looking for a fancy sit-down restaurant.
Exactly. They're going to prioritize places that are open late, maybe offer delivery.
Wow, that's kind of creepy how much they know, but also impressive.
Right. It's all about giving people what they want before they even know they want it.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all connects. But how does this user intent thing tie back to content being king?
Well, Search Engine Journal, they argue that high-quality content is the way to show Google what your site is about and who it's for.
So Google's not just scanning for keywords anymore. It's actually trying to understand the content itself.
Exactly. And they're not just saying this. By the way, the article actually mentions Google's own SEO guidelines.
No way they have guidelines.
They do. And
Yeah.
guess what? Google themselves say create content for people, not for search engines.
Well, there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth.
Right. And there was this study in 2024, the article mentions it, found a direct link between higher quality content and, drum roll please,
Higher rankings.
bingo.
Okay, so Google's basically begging us to create amazing content.
Pretty much. Because here's the thing. When people love your content, you're going to spend more time on your site, click through to other pages.
And Google sees that.
Absolutely. That tells them that your website is actually providing value. And value equals happy users, which is Google's ultimate goal.
Happy users, happy Google. Got it.
It's all about user satisfaction. Google's tracking how people interact with websites like crazy.
Like what kind of things are they looking at? How long you stay on a page?
Yep. If you click on links, if you bounce back to the search results, it's like they're watching our every move.
It's like they're digital detectives gathering evidence to see if your content is actually any good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the longer someone stays on your page, the more Google thinks, this website must have something valuable.
So it's not just about getting people to your website, it's about keeping them there.
Exactly. That's what we call dwell time. It's a major signal to Google that your content is keeping people engaged. On the flip side, if someone clicks away from your site really fast, that's a bounce.
And bounces are bad.
Not great. A high bounce rate, it tells Google that people aren't finding what they're looking for.
Which means your website's going to be banished to the bottom of the search results.
Pretty much. Google wants to see that you're providing a good experience for their users.
This is fascinating, but it also seems a little overwhelming.
I hear you.
How do we even begin to create content that's that amazing? Content that's going to satisfy both Google and real people?
So I was thinking about this whole creating amazing content thing.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder, like, what kind of content does Google actually prefer these days? Because the article in Search Engine Journal, it really surprised me.
Oh, how so? Well, you know, we're living in the age of TikTok and Instagram, right? Everything's flashy videos and cool graphics.
Right.
So I just assumed that's what dominated SEO too.
Makes sense.
But the article actually emphasizes, wait for it, text. Good old-fashioned text is still king.
Which, when you really think about it from Google's perspective, makes total sense, right?
I guess so.
Yeah.
But how come? I would have thought they were all about the bells and whistles now.
It all comes down to how Google actually reads content. Text is still the easiest format for their algorithms to digest.
Oh, interesting.
They can crawl through text, understand the context, figure out what keywords are important, way easier than they can with like a video or an infographic.
It's like trying to explain what a song sounds like to someone who's never heard it,
Yeah.
right? Like you can describe the instruments and the beat, but without the lyrics, they're not really getting the full picture.
Exactly. Text is Google's love language. It lets
Hmm.
you lay out your ideas clearly in a way that's easy for them to grasp.
Yeah.
And don't forget about accessibility, too. Screen readers, for the visually impaired, they rely on text. And Google cares a lot about making sure everyone can access information online.
That's a really good point. So does this mean we should, like, dish all our video content and just write a novel on every web page?
Oh, definitely not. Videos and visuals are still super valuable,
Uh-huh.
especially for grabbing attention and making your content more engaging. Think of it like this. Text is the foundation. It gives you that SEO power.
Okay.
But visuals, they're what make your content pop, make it memorable. You need both.
So it's about finding that balance, like being Google friendly, but also making sure humans actually enjoy reading the thing.
Exactly. And that's where this whole user intent thing circles back. It's about serving the perfect content for the perfect situation.
I like that, serving the perfect content.
Right. So it's not just about cramming keywords into a blog post. It's about anticipating what your audience actually wants from that piece of content and then delivering it in a way that's both informative and engaging.
Okay, so how would you actually do that? Like, give me an example.
Okay, let's say you run a food blog,
Yep.
right? And you're writing about how to make the perfect sourdough bread.
Yum. I love sourdough.
You could write an amazing, super detailed blog post, all the steps, perfect measurements, beautiful photography, but to really take it to the next level,
Yeah.
add a video. Show people how to knead the dough,
Yeah.
how to tell if it's proofed correctly.
Oh, that'd be so helpful.
Right. People can see it in action, get a better feel for the process. It's about creating a richer experience that caters to different learning styles.
Okay, so it's about thinking beyond just the words on the page. Like, how can I make this truly immersive for the reader?
Exactly. You're making it more enjoyable for your audience and sending those positive signals to Google that you're providing a really valuable resource.
This is making a lot more sense now. But I have to admit, it still feels a little tricky. Like, how do you find that sweet spot between appealing to humans and algorithms? Is that even possible? This whole conversation reminds me of something I heard a chef say once.
Oh, yeah.
He said, you can use the best ingredients in the world, but if you don't season your food properly, no one's going to enjoy it.
I like that analogy.
Because it's true, right? You can have the most technically perfect website, the most keyword-rich content. But if it lacks that human touch, it's just not going to resonate.
We're not just writing for robots, even though it can sometimes feel that way.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of this whole approach to content and SEO. When you focus on creating something genuinely valuable, something that informs, entertains, or solves a problem for your audience, you're naturally going to hit those SEO goals too.
That's a win-win.
It's like we get to create awesome content that people love, and Google rewards us with better visibility.
It's a matter of shifting our mindset from how do I please the algorithm to
How do I create something truly amazing?
exactly. And the more you understand your audience, the better equipped you'll be to create that amazing content.
This has been such an eye-opening deep dive. It feels like we've uncovered the secret recipe for SEO success.
Let's hear it then.
A dash of user intent, a sprinkle of high-quality text, and a whole lot of heart.
I think that's a great way to put it.
And on that note, it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive into the world of SEO. But before we go, I want to leave you with this. We've been talking about Google a lot today, but these principles of user-focused content, they apply everywhere, don't they?
100%.
Whether you're crafting a social media post, writing an email newsletter, or even designing a physical product,
Right.
it all comes back to understanding your audience and delivering value.
It's the key to everything.
So the real takeaway here is that good content is universal. It transcends platforms and algorithms. It's about making a genuine connection with your audience, no matter where they are, and that's a powerful thing.